But I think it was important for me to do another video on stop with the sin mentality, because in the last video I already spoke about what sin is. Sin is basically missing the mark. Aramaic, Hebrew and Greek, the word for sin literally means the same thing: to miss the mark or to be out of purpose, be misaligned with your purpose. And the reason, I've already covered this, you can go watch it, it's on my YouTube channel, you can go watch it. It's in a playlist called Counterfeit Christianity, or you'll be able to find it in one of the recent videos, but I put it in a playlist so it's easier for you to find. And here's the thing, in the first video I was reacting to a TikTok video that I came across, which inspired me with the need to actually put a longer video out to emphasize a point. And the point I came up with, which the lady makes, is a lot of people are in her position where they're like, why are we going to church, listening to worship music, listening to podcasts and sermons, if all we're ever doing in those are just hearing how sinful we are and how much we need God? Now, the truth is, we are sinners, yes, and we do need God, yes, but there is something beyond. And she says something which is true. Like, when does the good stuff come? When do we get to the point where all the glory of God is revealed? You know how Romans 8 talks about it, how all of creation is yearning and groaning for the revealing of the sons and daughters of Christ. That's supposed to happen now. And I'll start with a story, which is basically on the basis of the story that I want to start with is actually a very simple and straightforward story. I was taken to Santa Cruz as a leader for a youth group in a church, and it was a 3-day, it was like a weekend thing just before Easter. What interested me most, and which is why I'm actually sharing this story, is because there was one day where they were planning to do something for the kids, where basically all the leaders go and hide on the property that we were at and having this retreat. And the kids were supposed to go and they were supposed to go out in groups and find the leaders that were hiding in various places. Now, one guy, he hid in a trash room, or sorry, a garbage can. That was kind of epic because he was like 6'3" or something, fit in a trash can. Oh, dude. Anyway, so what happened was we were all hiding and we were told to leave while the worship was going on in the last session, and this was all happening at night. Now, they deliberately put a worship session so we could hide while all the kids had closed their eyes and stuff. And so we did that. We did just exactly that. And what happened shortly after is the Holy Spirit took over. And when the Holy Spirit took over, these kids started crying. And we were hiding for longer than we anticipated to be hiding. And when all was said and done, the pastor came up and we had a leaders meeting after all the kids were done and they were told to go to sleep, or even in the morning we'd wake up earlier just to have a leaders meeting every morning for those 2-3 days. And I remember in the morning we were all having coffee and the youth pastor came up and he said, you know, something that happened is the guys, they were also crying because the Holy Spirit hit them, but the saddest part about it was that the girls went from crying from like, okay, Jesus, we need you, and the presence and glory of God revealed in the room, to a point where their tears were more like they were disgusted with themselves. And that's not the gospel of Christ. Mary, not Mother Mary, Mary that had 7 demons in her, she wasn't disgusted with herself. She craved more of Jesus, to the point that when he's dead, she goes to the tomb to make sure, just to check up on him. She's not disgusted with herself. Never in the Bible is it written that she was so utterly disgusted with herself. Neither was the lady at the well. Now, here's the thing. We've been teaching such a distorted gospel that we know her as the lady at the well, right? You know who she goes on to become? She becomes Saint Foutini. Search her up on Google. Saint Foutini. She was one of the first apostles, one of the first people to ever be named a saint, and we know her as the lady at the well. Her rightful name is Saint Foutini.